So Sean Hannity and Dinesh D'Souza are very upset about the liberal reaction to the Indiana law. So, gay people, you want to treat them the same as straight people? Outrageous, outrageous. They're going to make some interesting points. I just want to note that Dinesh D'Souza is a convicted felon, and he's out on parole right now, and so he's able to go to Fox News because, he's on probation. Let's be fair. The felon is serving 5 years of probation. So on that, he was able to appear on the Sean Hannity program and not be in prison, as most people violating the law would be. Anyway, let's hear from the felon.
We talk about toleration a lot, and in fact, the whole gay rights movement for decades has been appealing to toleration. In other words, you may not agree with us, but hold your nose and go along with it. But toleration, Sean, is a two-way street. If we're going to extend social tolerance to homosexuality, to transsexuality, how about a little toleration for Christians who are just trying to live by their code of beliefs?
Okay, for the billionth time, that makes no sense. You can't say, I demand tolerance for my intolerance. You can't go around saying, I'm intolerant of dorky South Asian conservatives with awkward glasses who violated campaign finance laws. I don't believe that they should be allowed in any hotel or restaurant or any public accommodation, although that would have been largely true if he'd actually gone to prison. Anyway, you can't just single that person out or a group of people out and go, I don't like them. I don't think they should have the same rights as me. And then when I go, no, you can't do that. Oh, you're so intolerant. You're so intolerant of my hatred of South Asian conservatives with dorky glasses who should be in prison. You're so intolerant. No. You're the one passing the law saying they get different rights, not the same rights, not equal rights. You're the intolerant one. What an incredible jackass opinion. It's like saying, and it's not like they didn't say it, they did say it in the middle of the civil rights movement when the holdout racists in the South would turn around and go, it's my belief that black people, and they wouldn't call them that, and white people shouldn't mix. You're so intolerant of my opinion. Why are these northern agitators so intolerant of our culture and opinion down here in the South? We've seen this movie before. Okay, so now we're going to get the fun absurdity when they take it to the next level.
Gay and lesbians, they might disagree with me on gay marriage, or they might disagree with somebody, a religious person, and as it relates to their Christian views. But why are they so silent on the bigger issues of the day, which would be taking on radical Islamists? That would include women's groups and the treatment of women. That would be gay and lesbian groups on the slaughter of gays and lesbians in these other countries. Virtual silence from these groups that are so outraged and indignant over a law that Bill Clinton supported in '93 and Barack Obama supported.
I think what's going on, I mean, not only do you see the left not talking about the treatment of gays and lesbians abroad, but even at home, you'll rarely find homosexuals, for example, trying to force a Muslim baker to bake a cake for a gay wedding. In other words, this is a selective attack on Christianity, not on religion in general.
Wait, where are all these Muslim bakers that you speak of? What the hell are you talking about? First of all, the law, of course, would apply in that case as well. In Indiana, a Muslim baker could also tell gay couples that he's not going to do their cake or whatever he's going to do for their gay wedding. And you know what? We would be outraged at that. We are outraged by that. Nobody ever said, hey, you know what? We're only outraged by the Christians in Indiana. This would allow Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, everybody else to discriminate against gays and others based on their strong religious feelings. We're against the whole law. Nobody has ever said, leave the Muslim bakers alone. Nobody ever said, let the Muslims discriminate, let the Hindus discriminate, just don't let the Christians discriminate. Nobody said that. So you're totally and utterly lying. But the more important point is, there's not an epidemic of Muslim bakers or florists all throughout the country denying people services. That doesn't exist. Now, if we lived in Kandahar, well, then I'd be with you. I'd be fighting against the Muslim powers that be that discriminate against gays, women, etc. But we don't live in Kandahar. We're talking about Indiana because Indiana is in the United States of America. There's something we can do about that. Whereas I'm outraged that they don't let women drive in Saudi Arabia. I talk about it on the show, but I got the Saudi government is not really listening to me. Whereas when we're all collectively outraged about what our government does, you see we can influence that because we live in a democracy. Oh. Oh, I see. Why aren't they outraged about the Muslim candlestick makers in the middle of Somalia? But they don't live in Somalia, that's why. Okay, more from this ass.
I don't hear these same groups. I don't hear women's groups. They're angry about Sandra Fluck and who's going to pay for her birth control, or Mitt Romney having binders of women with women's resumes of people they want to hire. But I don't hear their outrage as a group speaking out against Sharia law and women not being able to vote or drive in Saudi Arabia, or not being able to leave their own homes without a male relative. Far bigger issues from my perspective. Why the silence on those issues?
The reason for the silence on those issues is that those are cases where the United States, if they were to mount a strong attack on radical Islam and its treatment of gays and lesbians, that would strengthen American foreign policy. That would make the case for more U.S. involvement or intervention.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. I speak out against Saudi Arabia all the time on those issues. I speak out against all those different Muslim governments when they oppress women, gays, etc., and Christian governments in Africa as well, right? But that doesn't mean I want to bomb them. I think bombing Saudi Arabia would be a terrible idea, even though I have enormous problems with their government. I think they're one of the biggest problems on the face of the earth, okay? The government in Uganda that is Christian, that is discriminating against gays, I totally disagree with. I don't think we should bomb Uganda. I mean, what are you talking about? See, because for conservatives, if you condemn something, the answer must be to obliterate it, to bomb it, to kill it, to murder it. That's not always the answer. And by the way, you're also wrong about the very core of what you're saying. In America, we did once have a tiny problem, I believe it was in the state of Minnesota, where some people were working at a cash register at a grocery store. They were Muslim, and they said, we don't want to check bacon when we've got clients who are buying ham, pork products, etc., because we don't want to handle the pork products because of our religion. And what we said on this show is they should be fired. Because it's not your choice. Then go work somewhere else, okay? The guy wants to buy bacon, that's his business, not your business. And if you say, oh, I'm not going to sell him this stuff, but that's your job. Your job is to sell him stuff when he comes. It's not your job to judge him based on your religion. So actually, this show has been perfectly consistent on every single thing that they just mentioned there. They're so full of crap. They set up straw men, and then they fight against it. And then their ultimate conclusion every time is, no matter what the issue, we started with baking cakes for gay couples in Indiana, and we wound up with, why shouldn't we bomb Muslims more? Fox News, again, as always, in a nutshell.